Welcome back, once again adventurers, to the Biohazard 2 Real Survival Let's Play. Let us venture into the world of survival horror yet again, for our ordeal is far from over. Now, contrary to what I said at the end of the previous episode, I believe I'm going to deposit the lighter and the ingredients temporarily. Making sure to store them in the right place with the serpent stone so that I don't cheat. I will keep everything else. That's all good, and got 34 bullets. Anyway, in the last episode we did a considerable amount of exploring through most of the western areas of the police station, both on the first and the second floor. We're actually going to start moseying over to the eastern side of the precinct this time. And what lies on the other side of this door but a zombie? Hello, Mr. Undead Police Officer. Good to see you, good sir. And that is the sound of fire over there. Oh. And that is another sound of a zombie behind the, oh. Make sure I reload, just in case. That was a zombie that I heard groaning from behind the, and there he is! And he's on fire. That zombie is, very literally on fire. Wasted a bullet there. Now we can see why he's on fire, because, there appears to be a crashed helicopter, or can only be described as a crashed helicopter, given that we're in a police station. And my bullet count is starting to go somewhat low, and actually begs the question: this rickety old police station is actually made of wood, especially this corridor here. So how and why the building hasn't already burned down from this fire, I do not know. But because it is fire, nope. No, don't walk into the fire. There, again. Almost, we can't traverse that way. We cannot pass through the fire anyway. We're going to have to find a way to get rid of that fire. Maybe there's a extinguisher lying around, or maybe some water. An extinguisher is probably more useful than water at any rate. But there's nothing else in this corridor, so let us move on. Let's see what lurks beyond. Another ominous corridor, and that was the sound of a crow. Can't see the crow because I'm going to go through this door here. That's right opposite the door that I came through. And that is a truly terrifying sound. The moaning ambience of zombies still roaming around in the streets of Raccoon City. And appears to be green herb up here on the landing. Don't mind if I do. I'll take that very much. And the stair leads down to the ground floor. But fortunately we have no way of getting out of here, which means that zombies have no way of getting in from this area. But the sound of the zombies' moans being carried on the winds as it sweeps through the night of Raccoon is quite chilling indeed. And probably should have left the herbs down there, but I'm actually going to momentarily backtrack to the item box in the waiting room and deposit 2 of these herbs, and keep a hold of that 3rd one, just in case. And also, don't disturb the crows. And that was the sound of wings that I heard as I entered, or as I left, rather. The sound of beating wings of the crows. They were annoying during the mansion incident, and they're no less annoying now. But I won't be in this room for long, adventurers. Just get rid of these herbs. I'll actually leave the the remaining herb there, because I can always pick it up later. And back through the room of fire. There were definitely 2 doors in that corridor, but as we all witnessed, as we can, well, plainly see, we can't traverse through there until I actually extinguish the fire. And back out, momentarily outside we go. Back down to the ground floor. I will be back for you later, Green Herb. Don't you worry. And that is the shuffling sound of more police zombies. I have to be careful here because these officers are very narrow. And there are several police zombies here. Well, I was lucky in that I dispatched that first zombie. And Claire can't see, but now she can, that there is a zombie in that other office area. Well, he was moving towards the door, but now he's standing over there. Yeah, that zombie is not going to play fair, but fortunately we can, I said, nope, I shot the wall. That zombie is too close for comfort, and that zombie I hadn't realized was not dead yet. Well, it was a waste of bullets on my part, but here in this detective room, in the corner here, lies a safe, and we obtained a file. No, not a map. We obtained a file, a memorandum rather, pertaining to the whereabouts of the safe and the code 2236. Now as I finally get out of the inventory, 2, 2, 3, 6. And there we go. And lo and behold, the safe gifts us with acid rounds. Probably the most powerful rounds in Biohazard 2 as far as grenade rounds are concerned. And a police station map. Again, why we didn't automatically get a map when we saw the operation room, I couldn't begin to tell you. But now we have a better idea of how big the, or what remaining rooms within the police station. A few rooms outside this one on the east side that I'm definitely going to have to explore, and which probably have a considerable amount of zombies left in them. And as you can see, thanks to that helicopter that's crashed through the building there, I can't explore some of the rooms on the map just yet, but I can go outside to the roof. But I have to go down the hallway with the crows, which is unfortunate. And there is a brief look at the 3rd floor of the police station. That's right, this police station does in fact have a 3rd floor. And I hope that I get something useful hidden behind this desk. It's a It's a green herb. They're always fairly useful. I believe now that the zombies have been firmly dispatched, we can leave. And there are actually two fans spinning quite, rotating quite quickly in here, and you can actually see the cord that actually they're hanging from, which is good. I have to say, this there was some ink ribbons there. I'll risk combining these two herbs together. Actually, I probably will leave these ink ribbons for now and come back for them later. Not a bad idea to combine the herbs though, just in case. But something to note about the original version of Biohazard 2, which is 1.5, the police station was considerably different. And I'm trying to find if there's anything else that Claire can examine. There isn't. It's got the strange feeling that I'm being watched somehow. Meh, it's probably not my imagination. Now we're going into the corridor that I was about to go in earlier, and lo and behold, there are a lot of zombies. This is the thing that Biohazard 2 boasts over the its original predecessor, is the amount of zombies that could be in any place at any one time. And that was all the explosive rounds left, and I didn't want to examine it. I wanted to combine with the flame rounds. But oh, you're alive. Well, you were faking. And now I'm on caution. That's fantastic. Didn't get all of them. There seems to be an office there. No crud, Claire, because we were just in it. Well, could have come this way before, but I didn't want to. And apparently Claire doesn't care about the fact that there's a payphone, although given the situation in Raccoon City, and given the action, given the fact that Chief Irons has been bribed by the Umbrella Corporation, it stands to reason that we probably can't call out of here anytime soon. But what is that I spy over past the pool of blood? Another green herb, which I'm going to use. Much better. And I still, that is some very sage advice, Claire. But the truth is that everything is wrong in Raccoon City. And there's something on the blackboard here. September 28th, night shift, George Scott. Probably stands to reason that he didn't make it as well. Or if he is alive, we haven't found any sign of him. We also haven't found any sign of the girl that ran away from us earlier, and who ran by Leon. But she's probably still running around. There's nothing in these cardboard boxes, so actually not too far, not too many rooms left to, well, actually there are several rooms left to explore, so we'll go through into the next corridor. There is another pure zombie right there. I don't care if I waste rounds just yet. You know what, I'm actually going to wait for the zombie to come to me around the corner, because I do not want to walk into an ambush. I just healed. I used a green herb. I don't want to be brought down to caution and have to use a herb again. Now please do not troll me, Mr. Zombie. I can hear your footsteps getting closer. Oh, and that's the that's the camera angle. I probably, there you are. Good, sir. And there's two of you. Oh, there's three. Oh, there's three. Wish I hadn't wasted that shot, but there was a third zombie around the corner. I might have been able to get past them, but I wanted them all to group together because it's a little bit more convenient for me that way. Of course, it would have been hilarious if I'd run straight into the arms of another waiting zombie. And this door appears to be locked by another diamond key. We need to find that. I do actually like the decor of the police station, and I think it actually used to be a oh, that was a red herb. Oh, I'll take it. I can use that with the other green herb. That's outside. And we're going into a room over here, which appears to be a police interrogation room. As in the good cop, bad cop kind of interrogation. I wonder which one Marvin is. Is he the good cop or the bad cop? I know, well, he is one of the best cops that Raccoon City has to offer. But unfortunately he's not doing so well. But did get some handgun bullets in this room. And that doesn't appear to be any more. But there is, on this room we can actually see through the glass. It's a magic mirror. So it's a two-way mirror that this side you can see through, and the other side is completely is just a reflection. So who's ever in the other room cannot see into this one, which is standard police interrogation technique. What is this portrait over here? Nothing unusual. At least mention something a little bit more about it. Apparently a club is etched into the it appears we can't get into this room, and probably should have taken a closer examination of the map in question, because unlike the map in the original Biohazard, this map actually has the doors marked color-coded style. We've already used the blue spade key. There appear to be, on this floor anyway, there appear to be 2 diamond doors, 1 club door that, or 2 club doors, one that we've just tried and one we have yet to try, and the corridor that we can't get into because it's blocked by a red door, which I can only assume is the color of the heart key. It's actually nice that they actually show you what color the keys are before you actually acquire them. But these barricades are all holding very nicely, which means that we don't have to worry about any zombies breaking in from this end. But unfortunately, we are, this is as far as we can go in this area, so it's backtracking we go. And since the next corridor is a bit more open spaced, I'm actually going to run down it. Yeah, shame I used that herb, but as I mentioned before, I'm actually going to, well, I could actually go back via the main hall to the 2nd floor, but I'm actually going to, and I still get the feeling that I'm being watched by something, but I can't place my finger on it, and Claire gets stuck on the wall again, as tends to happen. This is the eastern door that I believe is the one that's leading to the underground. unfortunately we have to find the heart key, which I believe is, I don't think there's anything else on this police officer. I think he just died of natural causes, or he's dead, but he didn't reanimate or transmogrify. Just take that handy green herb, and now we have 2 mixed herbs. Well, we have 2 red and green mixed herbs, which is essential, and I wanted to go up those stairs. Yeah, that's the thing with Biohazard 2. You have to press the action button to go up and down stairs, and I'm not going to fight the crows just yet. I'm going to have to deal with them sooner rather than later, because I actually have to well, I'm going to have to get past them eventually if I'm going to get to the roof. So I'll just I'll leave the red and green herbs for now, because I want to make sure that they're good and ready when I come back for them. Excuse me. But eventually, at some point, I'm probably going to take out the items in the dark room. Actually, if I play my cards right, I probably won't ever have to put items in the dark room item box ever again. I know these first few episodes of this Let's Play have been relatively slow, and it's actually been a little bit easier than most, but ooh, that's the sound of crows. They've been pecked to death. There is a body in the middle. And I want to get the hell out of Dodge right away, because this is a crow hallway, and that means crows everywhere. And luckily for Claire, she managed to dodge. If those crows had managed to get a hold of her ponytail, that wouldn't be good for her. That would actually be quite painful. And now we're on the roof of the RPD building, what appears to be some kind of helipad, although I'm not entirely sure it was meant to be used as such. But the helicopter is on fire, and we can't, obviously, because it's burning, we can't get near it. But if we go around through this gate here, there's actually a water tank up on there. A water pressure valve. It reads, warning, excessive pressure may rupture the water tank. Well, we have a valve, but we don't have anything to operate it. But we will need to find something in order to rupture that tank. Hopefully there is enough water to put out that fire, because if that thing is empty, then we're basically, yeah, we're basically up a creek at this point. And I'm going to switch back to the handgun. That is a very quaint, if ominous view of the roof of the Raccoon Police Department precinct. But out there in the wilderness of the desolation of Raccoon City, there are more zombies out there. We don't even know if there are any survivors actually still outside Raccoon City, wandering around. But unfortunately, we have to go down these stairs. Down we go. And I was right on the money. This area is not safe. Ooh, I was lucky there. If I can serpentine, and following the sage advice of Aniskel, I've been watching quite a few of his Let's Plays as of late, but you appear to be in some sort of yard area in the Raccoon Police Department. It appears to be completely disused. Hasn't been working for some time. There is a typewriter down here, and some ink ribbons as well. But also, there is something on the bench here. This item is unique to Biohazard 2. It's the bowgun. Now, if you've been paying attention in the first episode, you will actually notice that Robert Kendo was actually holding one of these when he was threatening Claire earlier. And because I decided to run all the way to the police station without picking up any items, I decided not to do that. Anyway, we read the description here. A powerful bowgun, primarily used to hunt large game. And it actually comes with a quiver of 18 bolts right off the bat. But more importantly, this is what we're after, the valve handle. This is what we need to rupture the tank. I can open and close the valves with this. That's very good to know. Now I'm actually going to take this ink ribbon. Or these ink ribbons, because there are two of them. But I wonder what happens if I go out this door that leads out here. Let's see what awaits us. Oh dear God, it's an ambush. Run away, there are zombies. There are zombies in the cabin now. And there are zombies outside. I'll let you shamble over there, so I can not run into your waiting arms. Past the post. Oh. Oh, don't. Oh, that was lucky that that woman was lurching against the stairs there, because that was actually very bad. I should probably be more mindful of my surroundings, but whenever I'm trying to dodge zombies, it can be hard to focus sometimes because I'm focused on too many things. But the valve handle in hand, we can now open the tank. And as the warning sign said, too much pressure causes the tank to rupture. Luckily for us, the tank was brimming full with water, and we actually keep a hold of the valve handle, which makes me wonder if we might need to hold on to it just in case. And surprisingly enough, the only thing that was in this ruined derelict of a helicopter was some more handgun bullets. And it is a complete wreck. Well, something happened here, and nearly it failed, but there's nothing more we can do on the roof here. But we have one more gauntlet to actually venture through, and that is the crows. Oh, they're already flying. They're already flying. They're everywhere. Careful, Claire. The crows aren't that difficult to dodge, and since we won't ever be coming down through that corridor again, we have no need to dodge them. But we return with spoils in hand, and I'm actually not going to save for the moment. I'm actually going to deposit these ink ribbons with the one that's already in here, and I will also deposit the valve handle for now. I will keep everything else. The bowgun is actually fairly useful in that it, you might be thinking it's wasteful because it fires 3 bolts at any given time. But in a concentrated point of fire, 3 bolts hitting a zombie will almost certainly put it down. And that is a very snazzy looking bowgun there, if I do say so myself. But I'm actually going to take a bit of fresh air, believe it or not, and actually make my way down to the back down to the front of the police station and see if I can deal with those two zombies. Of course I can deal with those two zombies because I have a bow gun. Once again, trying not to sneeze into the microphone, and believe it or not, the Biohazard 2 engine actually does have physics for Claire's ponytail, as you can all see there. Stuck behind the stairs. Yeah, sometimes the camera angles do throw me off. Iconic as they are, they can be annoying at times, but then that's what makes it Biohazard. And back we are, outside the front of the police station, and there are no zombies here. There are no zombies whatsoever to be seen. Two zombies that were over here before have completely vanished. Of course, these zombies out in the streets will still be running around. So I wonder if we go down here. There appears to be footsteps down here. Oh, and there is a zombie down here. He's wearing something very, Nope, and he's very tenacious. Used half of my quiver of bowgun rounds on him. But you will recognize the uniform on this zombie. Believe it or not, this man right here, we've seen him before. His portrait was with the others in the STARS office. Meet the Alpha Team helicopter pilot and hacker whiz, Brad Chickenheart Vickers in the flesh. He is in fact the special zombie that I was talking about earlier, and he actually has something on him. A special key. Well, didn't we find a locker that needed a special key to open it? Well, believe it or not, if we examine the special key, there must be an unopened locker somewhere. It's a locker key. Now, Brad only appears if you manage to reach the police station without picking up any items from the moment you enter Raccoon City. From the moment you start Biohazard 2, you have to make it through the gauntlet of city streets and alleyways all the way to this point. If you are successful, then the two zombies that are above the in the garden yard up above won't be there, and Brad instead will be down here. But I imagine Claire must be feeling some slight trepidation here, because Brad, for all his cowardice, was a member of the Alpha Team of STARS, believe it or not. And he did help the STARS out by coming back to their rescue and giving the STARS the rocket launcher that they desperately needed to destroy the Tyrant. Without Brad Vickers, well, actually, let me rephrase that. It was Brad Vickers that got them into that particular mess, and it was ultimately Brad Vickers who got them out of the mess. But now Brad Vickers, well, he was a zombie, and now we have put him out of his misery. So, and this is actually a rather morbid thing for me to say, it would appear that the thing that he feared the most inevitably came down upon him. We shall mourn your loss, Brad Chickenheart Vickers. Let's just hope that the other STARS members are safe. The other STARS members are definitely in Europe though, but how long they will stay that way is another matter. And believe it or not, if you, there is actually a secret here, or an Easter egg rather. if you dispatch the 2 zombies and the police yard, or Brad Vickers himself down there, you can actually walk up to the gates of the Raccoon Police Department. That is unfortunate. I can't view the, probably because I entered the police station beforehand. Or maybe because I... You should be able to examine the front of the police station. But I think the zombies have gone. So I can't actually show you, I won't be able to show you the gates of the police station right here. Because those zombies are no longer there. I think they're only there when you first arrive at the police station. I entirely apologize for that. But basically you get to see the exterior shot of the Raccoon, to the gates to the Raccoon Police Department on Innendale Street. But unfortunately I won't be able to do that in this particular episode, or this LP. I am entirely sorry for that. But, well, having spoken of the dark room, we can probably make our way there and see what is actually contained within the locker room. We'll have to say though that for all intents and purposes, even though this is a real survival let's play, for the and this first part of Biohazard 2 is relatively straightforward compared to the original Biohazard. And that is despite a few setbacks that were entirely my fault. Actually, Biohazard 2 is actually somewhat easier to navigate than the original Biohazard. Of course, having said that, things will actually end up being much more difficult once we actually get to the sewers, if we get to the sewers. And now that we have the special key, we can now use it to open the locker. And there apparently is an outfit that is Claire's size, apparently. Let me live. We change clothes? Yes, we shall. Please wait a minute. Why we would be changing clothes, remains to be seen. Especially in a zombie-infested police precinct. And there's an old gun here, by the way. Will we take the Colt SS, or the Colt SAA? Yes, we will. Behold, adventurers, the Colt Single Action Army Revolver. In other words, this is the greatest handgun ever made. And it has 6 bullets in it. If we examine it, it's an artillery model used by cowboys in the Wild West, designed for a quick draw. And what a quick draw it is! It actually fires slightly. It holds less bullets than the Browning HP, but as you can see, and get a better glimpse of Claire's new fiery outfit there. Draw. That is a pretty snazzy weapon. But believe it or not, despite the fact that this is a revolver, it does not use magnum bullets, which is an unfortunate shame. But it uses regular handgun bullets, I'm afraid. But I will be keeping the Colt on me, and we'll change back to Claire's original outfit. Once again, waiting a moment. And now she's back in her usual attire, but she still has the single action army at her disposal. You might call her Claire Ocelot. Yeah, that was a terrible joke on my part. But believe it or not, we're having said that, let me just check what I do have in the dark room item box, just in case. I know I'm wasting more time, but at this point, adventurers, having dispatched all those zombies, I think we're going to be pretty good for a good long while in terms of actual navigating. Yeah, the crank and the ink ribbons. I should probably take the crank, so I don't have to come back for it. See? I'm actually using my brain this time, adventurers. And I can always come back for those ink ribbons just in case. That's actually one of the good things about the police station, is that there were 3 item boxes, and they were all in a centralized location. And though basically, as I said before, if I'd used item management before, I would have been able to actually completely ignore the darkroom item box to begin with. But in the event that I find any more film reels, I will definitely be going back to the darkroom. So we had a bit of action, and now it's pretty much smooth sailing here. And I'm not going to put the crank in in that item box there. Nope. Instead, I'm going to return to the waiting room and make my way up to the to where the crashed helicopter was, but the inside, not the outside. Hooray for shortcuts. Hooray for emergency ladders that don't, well, that's the first ladder that we've climbed that doesn't lead to a sewer or an underground passage. But it will be our last. And, let me just, I wonder whether or not I should actually, I might, you know what, I'll actually store the Colt in this item box and ready out the Browning, just in case. Having an extra gun is useful, but having extra item slots is also useful. I'll keep the bow gun handy just in case, because there are still more threats lurking through the station, believe it or not. And somehow the water outside was able to douse the fire inside. And we can now make our way through here. And that was a very blood-curdling scream if ever I heard one. Unfortunately, the door is broken, destroyed by the helicopter. I can't go any further. There's no choice but to take out the wall. People might be wondering just how we can actually do this without some sort of explosive, but remember the patrol report that we found in the in the records room downstairs. We actually found something pertaining to a plastic explosive detonator and a block of C4. We're going to have to find those because they've been put into evidence, but we can't help whoever made that scream, unfortunately. But there is this room that's open to us. There is the ominous second floor music. I do love the music in Biohazard 2, I really do. And, lo and behold, some more ink ribbons. I might as well take those. This appears to be a, art deco room of some kind. It's been neglected and is covered with dust. I wonder if, all this is part of Iron's personal collection. And, believe it or not, we may find a file pertaining to this, at some point, but, this entire police station is actually, was actually at one point an art museum, which would explain its, well, which would actually explain a lot. But, there is something sparkling over here, and, lo and behold, it's a key, a precinct key in the form of a diamond. Now we can actually, open the, diamond rooms. I almost said dining rooms there for a second. This isn't, I'm not Barry Burton. So, we can now, explore the, well, there's one diamond room on either side of the precinct. I think I might, explore the east one first. Probably a good idea. And there is a, armored stone statue, again, of a, Roman centurion. I think that's right. The stand reads, "Tyrannus the Brave revives with 2 lights." There appears to be, a couple of, statuettes on, either side of Tyrannus. A woman relief. There's a hole about the size of a fist. Now, believe it or not, adventurers, these, reliefs were actually, in the mansion at one point. In the library. Do you remember the, statue that I pressed to turn on the light? Yeah, that's the same, relief. But, well, I'm sure you've already, figured out, as I have, that, we actually need to, get that, red jewel at some point. And, getting a very ominous chill, in this room. I wonder if there's something over here. Probably not. It's, nothing. Pay it no mind. But, we will have to, solve that puzzle eventually. Now, we do know where one of the, one of the, solution, well, can't speak today. Then again, I have been, doing this for a while. Anyway, where was I? We do know where one of, the items that we need, one of the, red gems that's being held by the statue. But we actually need 2 of them. And, a clue to the whereabouts of the other statue was, actually given in the secretary's diary, but, Actually, you know what? I'm not going to use the ink ribbon just yet. I'm actually going to get, what we need to solve that puzzle, because that actually won't take long. Although I will, put this item, I will combine the ink ribbons, and, I actually will need lighter. And this will involve, backtracking through the, I think I might backtrack through the library instead of going through the downstairs, because either way, it's, going to take time to get to where I need to go. Actually, like an idiot, I should probably, manage my inventory better by, getting rid of the grenade rounds and the, grenade launcher. Because I won't be, I don't think I'll be needing them just yet. we're alright for now, so I have plenty of ammunition to deal with any and all threats, but I think I will store the ammunition there for now. I will, because I've got the bow gun. I should be alright. Claire can clearly take care of herself, given that everything that she's been doing thus far. So now the time has come for us to finally solve a puzzle. And I know adventurers, that I could have, why didn't you get those items before? Well, I actually wanted to avoid them. And again, hooray for ponytail physics. But I said I was actually going to go through the library first, but I'm actually going to go through the to the meeting room where the portrait is. We are going to deface one of Chief Iron's valuable pieces of art, believe it or not, adventurers. Hooray for vandalism and pyromania. Yeah, definitely don't feel safe with thousands of zombies out in the streets late at night. Who knows when they could break in. And we're back at the fireplace. We can actually use the lighter. A sacrifice to the hellfire. That is the that was the clue to puzzle in question. Light the fire and deface a piece of art. Although that actually begs the question, I wonder if Irons actually deliberately bought the painting as part of this puzzle, and if he did, how much money did he actually pay for this? Probably quite a lot. Oh well, it's destroyed anyway. And I got the first of the red jewels that we need. I will be getting the other one shortly. Doing this all in one episode. A blood red jewel about the size of a fist. Virgin heart. Don't know how Claire would know that it's called a virgin heart unless he's being entirely poetic. But now the time has come to shift those statues, and hopefully Irons won't be mad at us for doing so, as he was at his secretary. And again, she did have a point. If you put statues around that are movable and you don't want anyone to move them, why would you put them there? Of course, we are about to answer that question with obscure puzzles. There is the other virgin heart, or the red soul, being held in the hand of the statue, and only the gaze of the gods of the sun and the moon can release this gem, or this heart as it were. Now, you'll notice that one statue is an interesting reddish color, and the other statue is a dark grey color. They're not facing the statue at the moment, but so we need to move them over. However, there appear to be a couple of pressure plates here, clearly marked by well, the walls. So we're actually going to move these. We don't have to destroy them this time, because if we destroyed them, then we'd be screwed. As soon as of course, I have to make sure not to move the statues over to the wall, because that would be really silly. I think I can push it a little bit more next to the door. And I believe as soon as I push the statue over here, it locks in place. I can't move it anymore. And I also can't examine it either. So the god of sun is now in his eternal vigil, now it's time for to move his brother. As soon as why Claire couldn't push the statue up there already, I don't know. You have to be very precise. And don't push the statue into the wall, otherwise I'll have to redo this. Now they're in opposite ends, both going to observe the warrior in question. And as the riddle said, the gaze of the sun and the moon releases the second virgin heart. Soul of the maidens that we actually need to solve that other puzzle. Thank you kindly. And I believe there's no need to believe we can now just backtrack through the library instead of going downstairs and then back upstairs. And fortunately no other zombies are lurking around here, which is a good thing. And Leon is disappeared to wherever he's trying to get to. Trying to find another way out and trying to find any more survivors. And the less time I spend in this room, the better. Don't know why I find the library so disturbing. I just do. And that melody doesn't help either. But that was actually a fairly simple puzzle. Again, the puzzles are fairly simplistic as far as Biohazard goes, which was kind of a disappointment because I'd actually wished that they'd actually put a lot more efforts into the puzzles. But no time to dilly-dally. Back to Tyrannos we go. And I am basically running out of commentary for this particular episode because we're just doing a lot of toing and froing with MacGuffins at this point. And we have the now that we have the virgin hearts in place, we can actually insert them into the reliefs. And that actually completes the look that they had in the original Biohazard in the mansion. And I didn't mean to pause there during that moment. And Claire goes the spoils. Tyrannos the brave. We hardly knew ye. And we have a blue stone. Half of what we need. Half of an animal is etched on the stone fragment. We're going to have to find the other half, aren't we? Well, I guess I should just go back to the save room. Nothing more we can do here, and the stone is fairly useless to us. And until we find some C4, there is no going through that door. A door that is not a door anymore. It's just a broken piece of wood at this point. But I believe now is the time to call it an episode, so I don't think I need the well, I certainly don't need this, and I certainly don't need the lighter at this point. So I'll place that there, take the ink ribbon, and it's time to make my next save. Actually did fairly well there. And don't select memory card 1. Full save. And the second save in the secretary waiting room. So that was this episode of Let's Play Biohazard 2 Real Survival. In the next episode, I believe I shall make my way to the east diamond room downstairs and see what I can find inside. As always, adventurers, until next we meet.